everyone, welcome to Chapter 12, the Biodiversity and the Healthy Society. Since you've already read the module, we're looking at the incredible variety of life around us and why our own survival depends on it. So today, our group will synthesize this topic. We'll explore the link between society and the environment, major threats to nature, global hotspots, and the impact of genetically modified organisms. So let's start with the foundation. So biodiversity isn't just a simple head count of animals. It's the variety of life across three distinct levels. So the first one is the genetic biodiversity. This is the variation of genes within a single species. And the second one is the species biodiversity. This is the total number of different organisms in a community. And the third one is the ecological biodiversity, which is the complex web of ecosystems and the natural processes that sustain our ecosystem. But do we actually know how to measure this? So actually, ecologists look at two main metrics. The first one is the species richness. This is a very simple tally of how many different species exist in an area. And the second one is the species evenness, which asks if those species are balanced or if one is dominating an entire area. So the researchers combined these using the Simpsons index.
Good day everyone, my name is Gian Granderos and let's talk about the importance of biodiversity and what threatens biodiversity. So biodiversity isn't just about animals in the woods, it's our planet's life support system. According to the DENR Biodiversity Management Bureau, it is essential for our survival for 6 key reasons. It provides food and clean air and fresh water. It supplies materials for our clothing and shelter. Forest house is 80% of biological resources with medicinal uses. It generates income through tourism and provides soul-soothing experiences from mountain trekking to artistic inspiration. Now, what are the threats? Now, unfortunately, human activity is wiping out flora and fauna at an alarming rate. We can categorize these threats into the HIPPO acronym. H stands for habitat destruction. Land use changes like mining, deforestation, and converting wild spaces for human use. I is invasive species. Exotic species like cohol or janitor fish that outcompete our native wildlife. P is for pollution like chemical runoff, plastic waste, and even noise or light pollution. Another P is for population growth, the increasing human demand for space and resources. O stands for overharvesting, so resource exploitation through poaching and illegal trade. In conclusion, overall, this is the global factor of climate change. Biodiversity is our best defense against environmental collapse, but only if we act urgently to protect it. That would be all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Ayesha Rhea Espakuribot. Next, I will discuss the keystone species. Keystone species is an organisms that have disproportionately large impact on their ecosystem relative to their abundance. They help maintain the structure and function of their environment. It is also an organism whose presence strongly influences its ecosystem because many other species depends on it. One of the examples is in West Africa, which a notable keystone species is the African forest elephant. This plays a crucial role in shaping its ecosystem by, first, seed dispersal. Elephants consume and disperse seeds of various tree species, aiding forest regeneration. Second is habitat modification. Their movement and feeding habits create and maintain forest clearings, influencing vegetation structure. Third is nutrient cycling. Elephant dung enriches the soil with nutrients promoting plant growth. The loss of forest elephant in West Africa can lead to significant ecological shifts, affecting plant species composition and other animals depend on the forest structure that help maintain. Removing keystone species disrupts the ecosystem, affecting the species that rely on it.
Hi everyone, my name is Donabel Tamayo and today I will be discussing the Philippines as a mega-diverse country and biodiversity hotspot. Also, the policies for biodiversity conservation. The Philippines is called mega-diverse country because it has a very large number of plants and animals, more than 52,000 species. Many of these are endemic, which means they can only be found in the Philippines. However, the country is also known as biodiversity hotspot. This means that although it is rich in biodiversity, it is also at risk. Human activities such as deforestation, pollution, and urbanization are damaging natural habitats. Because of this, our country needs strong conservation effort. That is why the effort everyone are important. To support this, there are different laws in place that help protect and conserve environment. First, Article 2, Section 16, the government must protect the environment so people can live in a clean and healthy place. Second, Article 12, Section 5, the government must respect and protect the land and culture of indigenous people, including their ancestral land. Third is NIPAS Act of 1992 or RA 7586. This law protects and the important natural areas like forests and seas. Harmful activities like illegal logging, hunting, and dumping waste are not allowed. And last is Wildlife Act of 2001 or RA 9147. This law protects wild animals and plants.
Good day, I am Trixie Sineneng and I will continue on citing the Philippine policies for biodiversity conservation. So the Philippines is known for its 7,641 islands and rich marine resources, which support food and livelihoods. However, destructive practices like dynamite and cyanide fishing have severely damaged marine ecosystems, with over 85% of fisheries now overfished. So to address this, Republic Act 10654 strengthens the Philippine Fisheries Code by combating illegal fishing, promoting sustainable practices, and protecting marine ecosystems while supporting local communities. Beyond marine life, the Philippines also has diverse mountain ranges and landscapes rich in wildlife and minerals. So to regulate mining, the Philippine Mining Act of 1995 ensures that all mineral resources are state-owned and promotes responsible exploration while protecting the environment and communities. Building on this, Executive Order 79 introduced reforms in 2012, including a no-go zone map that prohibits mining in protected and environmentally critical areas to minimize damage. And lastly, the Executive Order 270 of 2004 aimed to revitalize mining industry by encouraging investments and job creation while still promoting responsible and sustainable use of mineral resources. So that is all for the remaining act of the Philippine Policies for Biodiversity Conservation.
Hello everyone, I am Jarek Orsal. So today we'll briefly look at genetic modification. For thousands of years, we've used selective breeding to get desirable traits in plants, like breeding a sweet but small fruit with a large but blunt one. As you can see in the first slide, this process takes patience and luck because the results are unpredictable. Modern genetic engineering changes this. Instead of waiting for nature, scientists can now directly edit an organism's genes. This allows us to remove unwanted traits and insert desired ones efficiently, creating GMOs. The purpose is to develop crops that are more resilient, more nutritious, and have higher yields. So, what does this look like in practice? GMOs are already common in our food supplies, with crops like corn, soybeans, and papaya. Genetic engineering is simply a more precise and faster tool for doing what farmers have been trying to do for thousands of years to improving our food.
Good day everyone, my name is Ed Loyola and today I will be discussing the possible impacts of genetically modified organisms or GMOs on human health. The first is toxicity. So there is a concern that GMOs may produce harmful substances. For example is Biticorn or Bacillus thuringiensis. It produces a toxin that kills insects, pero importante nga masabtan nato ang toxin is design na siya specifically for insects o dili para sa tao. Next is allergenicity. This refers to the possibility of allergic reactions, since genes can be transferred from one organism to another. Third is the genetic hazards. Some people gakabalaka nga ang DNA gikan sa GMOs kay basin dili ma-digest o maka-affect sa atuang lawas or immune system. Pero actually, most DNA whether gikan sa GM or normal food is broken down during digestion. Pasabot ani gamay ra kayo ang chance nga maka-apekto siya sa atuang kalawasan.